Pretty much.
Gotta do the whole thing, huh?
Here it goes. Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 995 North Pine Street here in Canby. We're located at the front of the home off to the right of the front doorway. There's a 3-inch ABS cleanout. This will be our point of access. I'm going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Here we go. Here at about 22 feet out, just about 23 feet, we do have a root intrusion through the line. Pretty big one too. And we have root intrusion here at 27 feet at the, it looks like it's transitioning over to concrete pipe. Here at about 30 feet out, it transitions over to schedule 3034 PVC pipe. Looks like this joint here is pretty separated. We'll have a better look once we drain the line out. We're going into some standing water here too, so that's probably what caused that joint to pull apart as the line settled. And then it switched, I forgot to call it out, but it did switch right back to concrete. And here at 57 feet, we have reached the main lateral. I'm going to do locates real quick just to make sure we're out on Pine Street. And we'll let the line drain out here for a couple minutes. There are a few different issues going on here we have to map out. Alright, I did successfully locate the camera head out on North Pine Street. It goes over to the far side of the road. I'm going to go ahead and start rolling back. The line is basically all the way drained out at this point. I just located right there at the main lateral, and I was getting a depth of only about 3 feet 2 inches deep, so it And it looks like we've got standing water that's going all the way up pretty much to the main lateral connection there. This right here is about 1/4 of an inch. Not a terribly significant belly, but one that can cause debris to hang up. Looks like we also have a root intrusion coming through here at about 37 feet out. When you get up close to it, it's easier to tell. They're kind of different looking roots there, but anyway, that does appear to be a root intrusion coming through at 37 feet. I'm going to go ahead and locate and mark this. Looks like we do have some water going through the line here. Anyway, this is just out into the street, maybe 2 feet out into the road at this point. Again, the line is extremely shallow. It's only 1 foot 9 inches deep. Which makes for, especially when it's under concrete like this, for a fairly easy repair. You still have to cut into the concrete, but you only have to dig, down, roughly 2 to 3 feet all the way to the main. Because there is the belly at the end of the line there is not terribly significant. Because there's issues throughout the line at this point, you're going to already have to cut into the concrete to fix this one. I would recommend just replacing basically the line from roughly the hedgerow all the way to the main. It's very shallow, and it would be a cost-effective time just to update the whole section of the line. Yeah, I'm going to keep rolling back here. Had to take a little break there for a second, but yeah, we're 1 foot 9 inches deep here, only about 1 foot or 2 into the street. From this point out to the main lateral, this is basically right where the street edge is starting at. Most of the pipe under the street there is in fairly good condition. Beyond this point, there is the belly there in the line. And that's why I say this would be the time to just fully update the line. But the line from this point out is still functioning. I don't see a ton of debris building up in that belly there. It's just a cost-effective time to do a full update when you're already digging down to do the roots and stuff. So anyway, I'm going to keep rolling back here. I have the main lateral, the connection painted with a T out there in the event that you guys do a full line replacement. Got a lot of debris collecting here. It looks like we have some more roots. A lot of debris. I'm going to try and get just beyond this where the standing water is not hanging out. No, and from this point, so this looks like right where a clean out is at, right next to the hedgerow, on the street side of the hedgerow. There's a good possibility that from this point out could be the city's responsibility. This was definitely put in after the fact. It's specifically for that clean out there, and usually that indicates the city has installed that for their purposes, but it's settled horribly. You've got a belly in here, as well as root intrusions that have occurred. You've got about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of standing water in this section of the line, so definitely contact the city and let them know about this. Just right at a metal plate that's covering a clean out, and I'll just put a marking there. Yeah, this is, again, I located this spot here, and it is directly beneath that metal plate. I'm actually just behind it. We're kind of into the hedgerow at this point, but anyway, definitely check on that. There's a good chance from this point out could be the city's responsibility. It's also possible their responsibility starts at the transition from ABS to concrete. You'd have to contact them to find out. But this whole section here needs to be repaired. Got a joint that's pulling apart there by about 1 inch, and then a bunch of standing water. Here's where we have one of our root intrusions. I'm going to pull back here. That's going to be within the hedgerow at that point. I'm going to try and get back to this first root intrusion here at 22 feet. And you can see the amount of debris that's building up here. This is going to block the line at some point. All right, this is located on the house side of the hedges, about a foot before they start. It's kind of basically in the lawn right before the hedges start. It's only about 2 feet 2 inches deep there. I recommend the major repair that needs to be done here is from this point at 22 feet out to 37 feet to correct all the root intrusion, the belly, the significant belly in the line, separated joint. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. The line's going to back up at some point with the combination of all those things going on. There's a lot of debris collecting. I don't recommend just jetting it out. These are going to grow back and do exactly this again, so just get it repaired. And check with the city on that to see if they are responsible for at least a portion of the line. The street portion of the line, I say to replace that just because you're already doing some repair. It'd be more cost effective at that point to do it, but the line is still functioning from about 30, just beyond the roots at 37 feet all the way to the main lateral. I'm going to keep rolling back here. We have a tub draining inside. That's the reason for the high volume of water moving through there. But the line from the clean out to 22 feet where the first root intrusion is at is in good shape and functioning at this time. Again, the most important section here to get repaired is from 22 feet to 37 feet, which starts on just before the hedges in the front yard and extends all the way to about 1 foot or so into the street. There's a bunch of hedges over top of about the first 6 feet or so of the repair. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and roll the camera out. I highly recommend a rescope after the repair work is done to ensure it was done correctly. Good news is the line is very shallow. It's only about 2 feet deep to 3 feet deep, depending on where you're at. And it's all marked with white paint.